Welcome back to my YouTube channel for English speakers who want to learn Spanish. Today we're going to talk about something really important in Spanish, the accents, or as we say it in Spanish, acentos. The accents, as you know, it's words are in the stressed syllable of the word. For example, in the word caballo, caballo means horse. So in the word caballo, we have 1, 2, and 3 syllables. And the stressed syllable is here. In caballo, the caballo, that's the stressed. For example, in person in Spanish is persona. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And again, the stress is here in the second syllable. So that's we are going to talk about the stressed syllables and the accents. So now we have this pair of words, clásico, which means classic, and avión, which means airplane. So notice that here we have these words with this accent. So we have the first syllable, class, ico. And in avión we have avión, 2 syllables. But notice that these words, the stress syllable, it's in clásico and in vión, avión. So we want to know why these words have those accents and why caballo and persona does not have accents. Imagine we have a word of 4 syllables, and we have to divide the word always in syllables to know if we have to put an accent or not. In this case, we have a rule. It's always a rule, there's no exception. Well, there's some exceptions that I will explain in another lesson. But for now, just take this that I'm going to say as a rule. In this last syllable, we'll have accent if it ends in N, S, or vowel. So if the word ends in an N, S, or vowel, it will have accent. If not, there is no accent. I will just write some examples later. If in this penultimate or previous syllable ends different from N, different from S, and different from vowel, this will not have accent and this will have accent. And in these 2 cases, always will have accents. So I will write down some examples so you can understand this rule. These are the words that I wrote down in this whiteboard, just to understand the rule. So remember, when we have when the word ends with N, S, or vowel, and also the stressed syllable is here, we will have an accent. For example, the word limón, which means lemon, limón, has here the stressed sound, and because it ends with an N, it has an accent. Now, another example, fila. Fila means queue, and queue ends with an A. And the stress is fila, fila. It has the stress sound here in the I, and because it ends with a vowel, and here it says that if it ends in N, S, or vowel, you will never put an accent. So here is no accent. So it's okay. The next one, largamente. largamente. It's an adverb which means largely, and the stressed sound is here, and because we know that always in this always, so here is the accent. And then we remember the word classic, which means clásico. Remember that the stressed sound is here in clásico, and because we remember here and it's desyllabled, so always accent, and we can watch it. And the last one, audible. Audible means three. These three. So audible. Audible has a stressed sound here, and because it ends with an L, not NS or vowel, it has an accent. So these are the rules for accents, and I want to show you an example of how accents can misunderstood everything. So now I have another pair of words, two pairs of words, and I will show you how important it's to put accent also, because the meaning of the word may change. For example, in the first pair, el. El with accent means he, but without accent means the definite article da. So this is very important. If you are talking to someone, el, and if you are talking about an article, it's el with accent. And another one which is really funny is this one, como and como, and the pronunciation it's the same. How can you notice if you are writing? And como with accent it's how, and como without accent is I eat. Yo como. Remember that in Spanish you can omit the pronouns because the pronoun is also in the conjugation. Yo como, I eat. So I put a quick example for this como. So finally we have this common phrase in Spanish, ¿cómo estás? That means how are you? But it only means how are you if you have an accent. How are you? ¿Cómo estás? But many people write ¿cómo estás? Also with these interrogation marks. Remember that in Spanish we have this initial and final or question marks, also with exclamation marks. I will talk about that later. So, ¿cómo estás? With accents here and here, because the stress part it's here. ¿Cómo estás? And remember the S. So, how are you? But we have to quit this thing and this thing, because this is not a question, because this doesn't have an accent. So this is not a question. This is ¿cómo? I eat. Estas. I eat this. That's what ¿cómo estás? Means. I eat this. Remember to put the accent. And this is an exception. It ends with S. Oh, I mean, this is not the exception, because it ends with S, but the stress part is here. And if it's in this first syllable, there's an accent. You don't have to put an accent. So, ¿cómo estás? Means I eat this, and ¿cómo estás? Means how are you? So, with this funny phrase for Spanish speakers, I end this video, and thank you for watching. I hope I can upload new videos. So, have a nice day and goodbye.